Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Disney Plus Wave 3, the What If Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure Wave. Here we have Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Now this figure was the final figure in the wave. Was it the final figure or was it Sharon Carter? I think this was the final figure in the wave. It took forever to announce. Comic-Con, right, is where they officially announced her. Took forever. But I'm happy to have her. I think she's definitely going to be one of the better ones in the wave. I think the figure looks pretty good. It looks like the actress Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk. Obviously is a little bit of CGI kind of, to give her a final look for She-Hulk. This one's interesting because She-Hulk, the logo for She-Hulk and everything changed a few times. So here we have the older logo, but then they updated it to She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which is the official title of the show. So it's a little outdated. Which kind of sucks, and I definitely like the new logo more than this one, and I'm really enjoying the show. We just saw Daredevil in the latest episode, in the penultimate episode, so I'm kind of excited for the season finale. Daredevil won't be in the season finale. He was just in the one episode, but I'm really enjoying the show. It's a different take on anything MCU. I know a lot of people don't like it. That's cool. You don't have to like it, but it's a sitcom. It's not like your standard action-packed show. It's a sitcom, law, drama, comedy kind of thing, and with a little bit of mixture of MCU elements and stuff in there. So it's very different. But I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully some of you guys are out there. And if you're not, that's cool. You don't have to like it. Side artwork of She-Hulk there in her suit. There, the same thing. The bio reads, Attorney Jennifer Walters' life is forever changed when she suddenly gains Hulk-like powers after an accident exposes her to the blood of her cousin, Bruce Banner. Here, the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. We're all the way up to She-Hulk. We got a couple of Hawkeyes and a Sharon Carter to look at before the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure, and I'm excited for this one. Let's get her out of the package. Okay, here is the She-Hulk figure out of the package, and you know what? I really like it, but I do have one complaint. She has the flat out hands, so she could do the She-Hulk clap, I guess. But as you can see, those hands aren't really close together. That kind of sucks. So the only real way to, I guess, get her to clap is if you turn the arms a little bit, which kind of then go into her chest, and then bend the elbows, hinge out the hands, and then you can kind of get close, but it's not quite the clap when she extends her arms out and then claps. So that really sucks. A butterfly joint would have really helped with that. Unfortunately, we did not get a butterfly joint on this figure, so that is the biggest complaint, and I think a very valid one, because if you're going to have the clap hands in there, you should have made it to where she can actually clap. So that kind of sucks. She comes with the, which leg is this? I don't know which leg this is. This is either the right leg or the left leg. I can't tell because he doesn't have like standard toes for me to know which foot is which. And I forget what it was on the package, but we have one of the legs, the Infinity Ultron. And notice how short that damn leg is. It's shorter, oh, well, I guess about the same height as She-Hulk's leg. So it's kind of short. I was hoping for more, for taller, for bigger. We didn't get it. She also has a pair of fists, so not only do we have the clap hands, we have the fist hands. These fist hands seem really small in comparison to her clap hands, but that could just be because, one's closed, one's open. It's hard to tell the scale, but she does have fists. Let's get in for a closer look. Okay, and here's an up-close look at Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk, and I think this head sculpt looks really good. I really like it. The hair looks pretty good. We get some green highlights in the hair. You don't really notice the highlights in the of green in the show very much. But here we have her hair. Now this is how her hair looks a lot of the time, and I think that's one of the biggest CGI problems of the show. She-Hulk doesn't look the best. A couple of things. When she's wearing any suits or any clothes, the clothes look terrible. The CGI is just really bad. And then her hair, when her hair is up, like in that first episode where she's doing the training montage with Hulk, the hair looks pretty good because it's up. It isn't so wavy and things like that. But when it's down like this, the CGI just doesn't really work for me. It's pretty bad. I'm enjoying the show overall, but I really have to look past the really bad CGI, and I can do that for this show. A lot of times I may not be able to do that with some things, but for this show I'm able to, because some of the dialogue and some of the characters and stuff really work for me. So I can look past it. But yeah, it is bad. Just to address the elephant in the room, CGI is bad. But the figure is cool. You got to watch out for some of these parts. So right under her shoulder there, the shoulder is painted a different color. I'm not sure which color is the base, but the green is painted on, so you can actually see some scuff marks in there. So that's a little unfortunate. It's probably like a black color, and then they paint it on the different colors. Actually, black might be a little weird. It's got to be one of those colors. But either way, it just looks a little sloppy over there. Looking at the back of the figure, not a whole lot. I mean, we literally just saw the superhero suit in action in this latest episode with Daredevil. We hadn't seen it up until this point. We kind of got a glimpse in the trailer, and then really the action figure is our first full look at it. But then she finally wore it in the show, and it looked pretty good. Paint-wise, not bad. Some of the white, it looks a little sloppy because it just wasn't applied as clean, and then you see the base color kind of coming through, unfortunately. But overall, it looks good. Green skin throughout, and then she's got the sneakers, the tennis shoes. Never really got a good look at those shoes in the show, but they're just tennis shoes, no big deal. And then as you can see, the way the foot is, the shoe actually comes up above the ankle a little bit. We don't typically see that very often with feet, which is going to greatly hinder the hinge going up, which makes it hard for her to get into certain like standing poses and things. But the shoes look good, and they actually work out kind of well. It's just the hinge up that's really going to hinder. But yeah, there she is. I'm going to change out one of these hands. I want to see how the hand looks. I feel like it's a little small. Yeah, I think the hand looks a little small with the arm. Yeah, that's definitely a little too small. But, you know, the open hand really hides it and works out well. But let's check out her articulation. Okay, so She-Hulk has a lot of hair. That's going to be a problem because look at that. She can't really look down, maybe a tiny bit. She's not going to be able to look up because that hair is just all over her back. It's not going to work out. So that kind of sucks. You get some rotation in there, but not a whole lot. Pivot isn't really going to work because there's just so much hair. It really gets in the way. The shoulder, you can get the arm to go out that much. Works out well. Full rotation, of course, but it's going to rub up against the hair, so careful. That might chip some of the paint. She has the upper bicep swivel, which is good. Double jointed pinless elbow, so she gets that much bend at the elbow, which is nice. Yeah, wait, that a little bit more. That much there. So that is good. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. She's got the horizontal hinge on all of the hands. She has a diaphragm cut that works pretty well for all sides except going forward. So she can pivot to her left that much. She can pivot to her right that much. She can go back that much, which isn't too bad. But then coming forward is like hardly anything at all. So the diaphragm joints, we need better range of motion on them. She's got the swivel at the diaphragm joint because no waist swivel on female figures. Her legs go out that far apart, which is really good. She can kick forward that much. Not the greatest because it just comes up and hits at hip. But it comes forward that much. Doesn't go back at all. We have the upper thigh cut right at the bottom of the tights that she's wearing. Solid double jointed knee. That looks really good there. Okay, the foot. So hinge down, which is good. Hinge up. Not so much because it hits the tongue of the shoe. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet, and those peg holes are actually closer to the toes. So decent articulation, I guess. Not the best. We're really lacking with butterfly joints to be able to do the clap. That would have gone a long way with this figure. But other than that, you know, the diaphragm joint is about what we expect. A little bit more tilt than usual, but the forward is just like hardly anything at all. Okay, here is She-Hulk next to some comic She-Hulk figures. I know there's a few more out there. I have the gray Savage Hulk, of course, and that'd be the only other not fantastic She-Hulk figure there is in a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from years ago that has the Fantastic Four suit, and then I think like a cloth suit to go with it. But these are the ones that I have. This is the one from the A-Force Toys R Us exclusive box set, and then this is the fan channel exclusive single release Green Hulk there. You can see they're actually all kind of about the same height. This one is definitely the most bulky. This one definitely is the kind of smallest of the bunch. This one's got tiny feet, which makes it hard to stand at times. This one's got good sized feet, so they all have pluses and minuses to them. They're all different shades of green, but you guys let me know down in the comments below which one is going to be your favorite She-Hulk figure. And I think this one doesn't really count. Like comic and comic goes together. MCU comic, it's hard to say, oh, this one's better than this one. They're two very different things. This one's still a really cool figure, though, the comic green She-Hulk. But I really like the MCU one. This one was okay at its time because it had bicep swivels, which wasn't typical for female figures. It had the different legs. These are almost like ball joint hips that aren't balls. It's kind of weird the way the hinges on the outsides, but definitely way older body style. But that A-Force box set was a really nice box set that a lot of people I think missed out on. It's got some good figures on there, like the Elsa Bloodstone, the Photon Monica Rambeau figure. So it's definitely a solid set. And here we have She-Hulk with Daredevil, the black and red suit. Will Marvel Legends release a red and yellow suit? That would be up to Disney, but I can see them doing it, right? So Disney Plus waves, they seem to be a very big thing. Too many what if figures, in my opinion. Way too many what if figures, but you know, they're really pushing the animation of it. It'll really probably go with kids are probably like, oh, look, animated cartoon, it's good. I want the toys and stuff. Even though there were some adult themes in some of those animated shows. We shall see. I wouldn't mind if they just really released this figure in the red and yellow. That would be pretty cool. I know the suit is a little bit different in some areas, but it could work just to get an easy figure out there, and you know, Hasbro likes easy. We shall see. But size-wise, I think they look pretty good. You know, it'd be different if we had a Jennifer Walters figure. She'd be a lot smaller, but these look good together. Funny thing, I almost didn't even think to do this comparison. Like, I was like, wait a second, why didn't I grab a Hulk figure? Like, I did that while I was still in the middle of reviewing this figure. I just didn't plan that out well ahead in time. Like, come on, why would I not show Hulk? And here we have the two size differences. And here's where it gets real tricky, because size-wise, this does not work. Scaling just is not Hasbro's thing. They don't do it well, like, at all. Because I don't think the size difference between the two of them was this big. So either this Hulk figure is too big or this She-Hulk figure is too small. Unless I'm completely misremembering, you know, that first episode where it showed them, you know, together at times. So I'm not sure what it is. When we talk a Hulk figure, we don't want a smaller Hulk figure, so I'm happy with this one. But then when you compare, I mean, the size difference is ridiculous. And I know that Hulk is bigger than She-Hulk. I know that. But the size difference seems pretty crazy between the two. But you guys let me know, what do you think of the size difference? Is that pretty accurate, or is it just way off? Okay, and here is the Infinity Ultron wave so far. So the first four figures from the wave, we have She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, and Ms. Marvel. I am really liking this wave so far because I love MCU. So when you have an entire wave that is MCU, that's my jam. I love it. I know a lot of you guys hate it. But it's an easy pass for you guys. Saves you guys some money. I know you guys want some comic figures and maybe some comic representations of these figures and things, which we actually all have, except the Mr. Knight. We don't have a comic representation of him. We have a comic Moon Knight. We have a couple of them. We got a comic She-Hulk. We got a couple of them. We got a Miss Marvel. We actually got a couple of them. So I'm happy with the MCU stuff. I love it. I'm super happy to put them into my collection. You know, I want more MCU. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Infinity Ultron wave so far? What do you think of this She-Hulk figure? I actually really like it, but again, bummed she can't do the clap. Butterfly joints would have been awesome. Unfortunately, you know, butterfly joints on female figures is like one of those things where it's like Hasbro just doesn't do, except, dun, da, 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 she's got them on this one, so they can do it. They just haven't. They can do it. Hopefully we'll see more of it. But again, you guys let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys are interested in joining the MCU Collective and becoming a channel member, hit that join button. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.